We're talking about income equality. So in other words, if I'm in, let's just throw it out, the 25% tax bracket, I have 4 kids, I tie 10% to our church, I own a house, I deduct all that stuff. And then we have another person who's in the same tax bracket, they don't own a property, they live in an apartment, they're single, they have no kids, and they're an atheist, they don't get any of those deductions. Is that unfair? No, it's not unfair in the least. If you are a person in the same category, that is, a person with children, a person who tithes, a person who has property, the same rules apply to you. If you're a person who doesn't have any of those things, well, the same rules apply to you. You just can't benefit from them. Well, that's no good. That guy should pay exactly what I pay. Well, then you support a flat tax or a fair tax, which is exactly what I support. But we have a progressive income tax. The Republicans haven't changed that. It's still a progressive income tax. So this argument that it's not fair, this is a left-wing argument. The rules apply to everybody. If you own a home, you get a deduction. If you don't own a home, you don't get a deduction. That's fair. If you have interest on your mortgage and have a mortgage, you get a deduction. If you don't, you don't. That's fair. If you have kids, you get a deduction. If you don't have kids, you don't get a deduction. That's fair. What he's talking about is not rules applying to everybody fairly and equally. What he's saying is the outcome has to be equal. The outcome has to be exact. That's nuts. Levin, who probably pays the top rate of 5.75% in Virginia plus property taxes, which given his income probably amounts to a lot more than $10,000, feels that it's unfair not to be able to deduct such payments from federal taxes. You see, this is the first problem. A personal attack. We're not apparently able to have a substantive intellectual discussion over principles and policies without mentioning my income. I can afford whatever they throw at me. That's not even the point. That's not even the point. And this is what a liberal does, a knee-jerk liberal does. They go right for this class warfare. Well, he can probably afford it, or he's, this probably affects him. Well, of course it affects me, and it affects a lot of people. But the point of whether it affects me, there's no need to personalize it. I'm trying to have a discussion about this. I believe that you should be able to deduct all your state income taxes and all your property taxes for a reason I'll explain in a moment.
Want to see more? Sign up for Levin TV.